do your best to ignore the fact that I'm wearing the exact same outfit that I was in the last video. That's because I'm filming them on the same day. We're hustling today. We're in that productive mood. And that's a good thing. So today I thought it would be fun to use Instagram again to decide what I'm reading. And this time, instead of doing a whole bunch of books and a whole bunch of people, I did 3 polls on my stories. The first poll was nonfiction nature versus nonfiction race. The second poll was nonfiction philosophy versus nonfiction poetry. The last poll was classic fiction versus literary fiction. And I had you guys decide by voting on that poll what I was going to read for the rest of this week/weekend. And they're all very short books because I wanted to give myself a little relaxing, easy, chill reading time. So these are the books that you were voting between. So for nonfiction nature versus nonfiction race, we had World of Wonders by this author that I know I would butcher the name. I definitely can pronounce Amy. I'll have to look that up. So we have World of Wonders and Better Living by Their Own Bootstraps, Black Women's Activism in Rural Arkansas, 1914 to 1965 by Cherise Jones Branch. And you guys picked nonfiction nature. Pause for car. So I'll be reading this in this vlog, which I'm really excited about because I've had this for quite literally over 5 years and still have not read it. So I'm really excited about this one. The next poll that you guys voted on was nonfiction poetry versus nonfiction philosophy. The philosophy book was The Tao of Pooh by, I think, Benjamin Hoff is the author. I don't have it with me right this second, but that's one. And then the other one was poetry, Dog Songs by Mary Oliver, and you guys picked poetry. So I get to read some Mary Oliver during this vlog, which I'm so excited about because I love her. And then lastly, we have the fiction poll. So it was classic fiction versus literary fiction. And the classic fiction was Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. And the literary fiction was Love by Toni Morrison, and you guys chose literary, so it looks like I'm reading a Morrison. Very exciting. So those are the books that we're going to be reading in this vlog together. This one's going to be much shorter than the hour-long reading vlog I did last month, and that's going to be great. Great for all of us. So I think I'm going to start with Dog Songs by Mary Oliver, but let's just get right into it. Mary, you've done it again. I just love Mary Oliver so much. I'm rating this 4 stars because it's definitely not my favorite of all of her works, but it was still so sweet. It's just a collection of poems about dogs and how wonderful they are and how much they add to our lives. And some of them made me laugh and some of them made me a little teary. There were really cool illustrations in here. I think this one's probably one of my favorites. It's so cute. Let's see, there was one specific one that I wanted to read to you guys. Yes, okay, this one's called A Bad Day. Ricky, why are you barking and trying to rip up the couch? Can't you settle down? It's been a long day. It sure has. First you forgot to take me out. Then you went to the market and heaven knows where else, and my dinner was late, and our walk was short, and now you're supposed to be on the floor playing with me, but no, you're doing something else. So I thought I'd give this couch a little distress. Well, don't. Be a good boy. Honestly, what do you expect? Like you, I'm not perfect. I'm only human. That's just so silly and so cute. And I just love dogs. I love my dogs. They just add so much joy and sweetness and childlikeness to life. So definitely recommend this if you are a dog lover or a poetry lover or a Mary Oliver lover or just a person needing some joy. This was very sweet. Good book. Good choice. Good choice. On to the next. Next, I'm going to read Love by Toni Morrison because I want to put the fiction in the middle of the two nonfiction, and because I have a feeling this one will be a little bit more on the emotional and difficult to read side. So I figured putting this in between two lighthearted reads would be smart and better for my mental health. So we're going to start this today and probably finish it tomorrow or the next day because this one's the longest book in our vlog today. So I'm gonna get started on that and I'll see you when I see you. So I'm about halfway through Love right now, and I have mixed feelings because, hold on, I need to put my bookmark in. I have mixed feelings because this is one of those books that I know has like fantastic symbolism and like social commentary, but I think my brain is too small to get it. And this is the type of book where I have to look up like a study guide on the World Wide Web to be able to understand what all the symbols and motifs are and really get like a handle on the plot. Not only that, but this is a non-linear narrative, and you guys know by now that if the story is not told in chronological order, I'm gonna be confused. So all that being said, so far I'm sitting at like a 3-star rating, and that could change considering I have half of the book left to go. But all of the characters are mostly unlikable, which again, you know that's hard for me to stay engaged with. But there's also like extreme trauma with almost all of them, if not all of them. So you kind of understand why they are the way they are. It feels like a lot of women being pit against women, even though the man is at the center of all of their trauma and all of their dissent, all of their dislike for each other. So yeah, I have mixed feelings about it. I think that Toni Morrison is a fantastic author, fantastic writer. I just need more brain cells in my brain to be able to understand what she is leading me towards as a reader. So I don't know, it's hard to even tell you my thoughts on it because I just get so confused. I think that the next time I read a Toni book, I need to buddy read it with someone who is experienced with Toni Morrison's works, because that's going to help me, I think that's going to help me grasp what's going on a little bit better, just to have someone to like discuss and yeah, just to have someone to discuss the book and bounce ideas off of. I think that'll help me a lot. So that's how I'm feeling so far. I don't hate it. I don't dislike it. I just don't understand it. And that's tough. That's tough. But maybe I'll start to understand a little bit more as I go through the book. But it's not uninteresting. Like, I do want to know what happens. Like, I want to, uncover the past a little bit, but I just don't get it. And I hope that I do by the end. Really hope that I do. But that's the update so far. I'm going to keep reading, and then I'll let you know what I think when I have more thoughts. Thoughts on this. I just finished it. It took me several days. Very slow paced for me. Kind of hard to follow at times. I think I understand all the things that I was supposed to understand by the end, but I very easily could have missed some things. I've got to say, I didn't love my experience reading it. I don't feel like it did much for me, but I do think that's because I just don't have the mental space to read such an in-depth story. But I think it's worth a read if you're into like classic literature, or what does that sound? I do think it's worth the read. I will go ahead and rate it 3 stars because I just wasn't my fave. But if you have different opinions and like an analysis that you'd like to share with me, please put that in the comments because I would love to understand this book more. I just think I need like an extra like study guide type of material in order to really grasp what was going on in the book. But now that we've finished the second book in this vlog, we get to start the final book in the vlog, which I'm very excited about this one. I think this book's gonna make me feel good, and that's exactly what I need right now. So I'm excited about that, and I can't wait to let you know what I think about it. So I'm gonna start that today and hopefully finish it today or tomorrow. And then we can wrap up the vlog, do a little recap afterwards. So I'm gonna get to it. I'll update you when I have something to say. Alright, I've finished World of Wonders, and it was just as lovely as I expected it to be. Just as wholesome, just as sweet. It reminded me a little bit of Mary Oliver. I know I've been saying that a lot lately, but this was very reminiscent of Mary Oliver's poetry. I think just any poetry, here's my dogs, any poetry about nature and connection with nature just automatically reminds me of Mary Oliver. But like the tone of this writing is so warm and comforting and nostalgic. It's just very sweet. I would love to read more by this author. I think that she's wonderful. So I think I'm gonna rate this 4.5 because I don't think that it was a 5-star read, mostly because I felt myself wanting to skim every once in a while. It felt a little bit skimmable at parts, but there were several chapters that I just absolutely adored. So I feel like a 4.5 feels fair. Definitely would recommend it. It's such a short and sweet read. So yeah, those are the thoughts on World of Wonders. So we finished up Dog Songs by Mary Oliver, Love by Toni Morrison, and World of Wonders by Amy. I'm gonna have to figure out how to pronounce her name. Give me just a second. Not me searching the entire house for my phone.
You are looking at Julian's pronunciation guide, where we look at how to pronounce better some of the most. Amy Nezuko Matatil.
Nezuko Matatil.
Nezuko Matatil.
Nezuko Matatil.
Videos on how to pronounce more.
Okay. Glad that I know how to pronounce it now because I feel like I will be reading more by her, and so I needed to know. But yeah, this was a successful little vlog. Good little books here. Thanks you guys for picking what I was reading this weekend. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, go ahead and do that. I'll put the @ right there. That's where I post all of my bookish things on Instagram. Otherwise, if you want to just join me here, subscribe to this channel if you like. I try to upload every Thursday, reading vlogs, reading wrap-ups, all the things. So come hang out. We have a good time here. Who knows what's going to happen next week? Hopefully it's going to be a bookshelf reorganization video because I really need to get to that. But we'll see. Come along for the ride. Thanks for being here. Bye!